Hey, what's going on, everybody? I said, fuck the intro. We're not going to listen to the whole thing. I love when I do shit like that. Just, click it right off like it's no thing. Like it doesn't mean anything. But what's going on, Chris?
Nothing much, my good man. Nothing much. How about yourself, buddy?
Nothing much, man. Enjoying my day off, man. I believe I'm about to piss off a lot of people with this one, but I believe today is Patriots Day. I'm gonna Google it. Today's holiday. I believe it's Patriots Day.
It is Patriots Day.
Patriots Day. Yeah, because the Boston Marathon is always on Patriots Day. So Memorial Day, Patriots Day, 4th of July, Christmas, whatever. They're all the fucking same.
Agree with that. That's what, when you were telling me about that before, I'm trying to think. I'm like, Patriots Day doesn't even ring a bell.
Yeah, it's limited. I don't know if Massachusetts is Massachusetts, I believe, is the only place that celebrates that. Hold on a second.
Makes sense.
I heard a doom. But why don't you see us? That's weird.
Hey, because I don't know if anybody else has seen it, but I'm getting like an XSplit broadcaster.
No, it's only you for some reason, because I'm screen capturing you for this, and I don't know why it doesn't want to show it. But I'm here.
No, that's fine. I'll just stare at a static screen and then myself in the corner, and there I am.
There you go.
There we go.
There you go. You're welcome. But so what's going on, everybody? It's Patriots Day. Happy Patriots Day for everybody that lives in Massachusetts. If you don't live in Massachusetts, then you don't have a holiday.
No, it's every other day of the week.
But that's okay, though. Man, got nothing really going on lately, man. Just been today. I did a little streaming of Far Cry. I'm trying to get into Far Cry, and people got to see my awesome driving skills with a four-wheeler. Yeah, it's pretty bad. The driving in that game fucking sucks. I absolutely hate it.
Why? Is it like Halos or?
Oh God, way worse.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah, way worse. I'm just not really good at it. I don't know, but I'm not a big fan. But the one thing they do have on there is auto drive, which you just push the button and it auto drives it. Thank to motherly God that they have that, because if not, like, that game would probably be thrown out the window if it wasn't digital.
But where's the fun in that, though?
What? Where's the fun throwing out the window? There's plenty of fun in that.
Well, or just driving and crashing into every little thing.
True, dude. It's like you hit a tree, you hit a branch, you hit people, you hit animals. By the way, you can get attacked by animals if you're in on the four wheeler, which it just sucks. So, but I'm not shitting on the game. I love the game. The game's cool. It's fun. I don't mind it. But this past Tuesday, Mortal Kombat X came out.
How was that?
I like it. I like it a lot. I'm not a die-hard Mortal Kombat fan. I've played, when I say a majority of them, I want to say 80 to 90% of them. There's maybe two I didn't play, and it was probably the most important two. It was the last two. But I do like it a lot. It's fun. Definitely fun. They had some broken things in it, but I think they already fixed them in the latest update that they did. So, but it's good, man. I enjoy it. We had the tournament on Thursday with it. On Friday, and everybody greatly enjoyed it. And it's cool because I started off as a little fee, and the thing that's great about doing a tournament that early is everyone's almost on the same level with it. There were some people that even entered the tournament that's never even played the new one yet. So they were kind of just going, and they were like, so is this like the older ones? I'm like, no.
I know.
Yeah, but it was good. It was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the game's fun. I like it.
Mhm.
They have a lot of different modes in it, which is cool. They have a practice mode for fatalities, so you can practice your fatalities, and it shows you where to stand and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. They have story mode, which you don't get to pick the guy that you want to be. You have to play whoever it is through the story. It's just a part of the story, so which
Okay.
makes it really hard because sometimes you get stuck with guys that you're not used to playing. So, but with me, I like stuff like that because of the
Yeah.
fact that I like trying to play with all the guys and get used to playing
Okay.
with all the guys. So,
Mhm.
they have tower mode, which is just the traditional Mortal Kombat tower mode where you just beat each guy. It's kind of like the arcade version, so that's
Okay.
pretty cool. And then you got online, which I haven't dared to play yet. I'm not a fan of playing anything online, let alone a fighting game. The lag would probably just want me to flip out. So, but all in all, man, I like it. Very very gory. The graphics are tremendous. The controls are cool. You know, they have breakers to break out of combos and stuff like that. But all in
Nice.
all, you know, pretty good game. Combos and shit are still a pain in the ass to do per usual.
Yeah. Wouldn't be
Yeah,
Mortal Kombat if that wasn't the case.
exactly. But other than that, man, you know, it's your typical Mortal Kombat game. You know, it's fun.
Okay.
They have a big lineup, but they're still missing a lot of characters.
Mhm.
Cabal, which they have in the story mode and you can't use. Rain, which is supposed to be somebody that's supposed to unlock later on, but Baraka, you can't play him.
Yeah.
Striker, you can't play him. Sidel,
Can you unlock them at least?
no, I mean right now they're saying that later on they're gonna make it. Maybe you know games don't have unlocks anymore. It's you buy them or you don't.
Uh,
So yeah, it's gonna be one of
mhm.
those deal. But I'm really content with the guys that I have and
Okay.
everyone they have. I think you can unlock. You're supposed to be able to unlock the last guy, which I can't remember his name. People would probably crucify me for
Shang
that.
Shun? Shang Shun?
Nope. He's not in it either. Yeah, Shang
What?
Tsung's not in it. Yeah, but Goro's one too, and Goro to
Okay.
be pretty badass. But supposedly, if you want him, it's 4.99, or if you pre-ordered the game, which dummy didn't pre-order the game. I just bought it the day of, and I
Well,
didn't pay attention to that.
but dude, did you? Well, obviously, you probably could have here. Do you? Goro's not even available right now, and any of the other downloadable characters are not going to be available. Like maybe to like year's end at some point this year.
You can't use Goro right now.
No,
Are you
not
serious?
from what I heard.
Really? Well, that's
Mm-hmm.
quite a disappointment. I would have been pretty pissed off if I unlocked the game and didn't have him. I mean, they have him right there in the menu.
Which, and you know what? I could be wrong, but what I heard is a lot of people were pissed off because even if you got the Goro DLC, like it didn't unlock.
Huh.
Like you couldn't use them right now.
Well, that's
So I mean that may or may not, but
pretty
that
fucking
goes.
frustrating.
Especially if you got the the combat edition and the one above that, you know, whatever the name is. But you know, it's I don't know. I was shocked to hear that. I'm like, how could you not? Like, I'm hoping. You know what? Actually, I'm gonna look it up. But I don't know. Like that kind of bothers me. Like you get pre-order stuff, and then it's like, but it's not kind of a ready yet. You
Right,
know?
right. Yeah, the combat package, I did know about that, which the guys are supposed to be available soon, I think, is what I'm seeing. So I'm not 100% sure, but I don't know the date. All I know is like I'll worry about it when the time comes. But
Okay. Yeah.
all in all, people like it, which is I guess which is important. You know what I mean? People do like the game, so that's all that really matters right now. So. But
Yeah.
yeah. So let's get into the topics of the day. So we're gonna start off with our favorite thing to do in all games, and that's the grind mode. Getting into grinding. Um, yeah, grinding. Now, there's a couple different ways to grind, and
Mhm.
I think a lot. I think a good spot to put into this conversation as well is if we think DLC has kind of ruined the grinding experience a little bit, where people don't have to really grind anymore, which kind of takes the value
Okay.
away from a game. I mean, it's not always the case. There's so many different terms and meanings to grinding, which is kind of funny. So
Yeah.
let's kind of get into a specific grinding. I already know which one you'll probably pick, but what game are you thinking of in terms of grinding? When you hear the word grinding, what's the first game that kind of pops in your mind?
I'm gonna go, and all right. As much as I want to go Final Fantasy, I'm gonna go ahead and say Dragon Age.
Okay, okay. I thought you were gonna go with
Which,
the Final Fantasy route, but okay.
well, okay. And here's the thing, because there's many different ways, like how you can consider grinding, and I guess they're not the same because Final Fantasy, you grind for levels, get stronger, level up magic, things like that. Dragon Age to me almost became tedious.
Hmm.
Like, and it got to the darker side of grinding where uh, yeah, it was. I got to explore, look around, and everything like that. But then it was almost kind of like the curve. You hit that dreaded curve in games or wall where it's like, okay, I can't beat this thing. All right, let me go randomly kill some things, or if I want to make this upgrade or do this, like I have to walk around and ping and ping and ping and ping, And after a while, it kind of moved away from exploring and appreciating the world to now it's kind of like, okay, I got to go back to the same zone. I got to do this. I got to do that. I'm not complaining about the game. Don't get me wrong, but it was kind of like I think there was a slight bit of imbalance, and I think this has to lean more towards like the crafting area, but the grinding almost seemed less cohesive and more forced after
Right,
a while. You
right,
know,
right. Um,
what
I,
about you?
I didn't get into the Dragon Age too much. I did play it a little bit just to
Mm-hmm.
try it out and stuff like that, and I did like it.
Yeah.
When first thing I think of when I think of grinding is kind of like the first comment you were going to make is Final Fantasy VII. It's
Mm-hmm.
not the birth of grinding, but grinding to the extent of spending a lot of time just doing pointless fights, just to make
Yeah.
myself better. The other grinding I did really wasn't for the purpose of just leveling up so much that I'd have an easier way of doing it. Another, game that I think of, because I know people beat to death Final Fantasy VII, so I'll try not to go that route. Breath of Fire 3. There was a Coliseum stage that was in that game. I'm sorry, not Breath of Fire 3. Star Ocean. Star Ocean.
Okay.
The Second Coming, or it might have been, I can't remember which one it was, but it was for PlayStation, and I believe it was PlayStation 1. There was one particular part of the game that you had to fight in the Coliseum, and as you fight in the Coliseum, like you get and unlock certain things, which was really awesome. But the Coliseum got so freaking hard, like I mean, so freaking hard. So I got to a point, man, is all I did was just grind for the Coliseum. That's all I did was just grind, grind. So I went out there and I just fought like guys for days. Like I did no mission, I did nothing. I just literally fought guys for days just to beat this stupid Coliseum. And I forgot what the weapon even was, to tell you the truth. It was something special I got. So everything all better now?
Oh my God, yeah. Dude, somebody tried to jack my system. I'm like, oh no.
What? What?
Yeah, dude. I had to go into my router and shut down ports. I'm like, get him. Dude, it was weirdest thing. Like, I have my laptop going. I have my tablet going. I was in the server closet. I'm like, going through. Dude,
Just unplug everything.
dude, I traced it back to New York. And then as soon as I did that, went dead. And then all of a sudden everything came back up. I'm like, are you serious? Like they didn't get into anywhere.
Right,
But I
right.
was just kind of like, dude, because it was the weirdest thing. Like I'm sitting there, right? And I heard you talking about the Coliseum. I'm like, and all of a sudden it just went, and I'm like,
Yeah, I'm sitting here. I was still talking. I'm like, Okay, so Chris is either very good at memeing or something happened. And I just explained to everybody that one of the shitty things about going now onto Twitch is there's no more talking through when you're not there because you could actually see it. So I'm like, yeah. So I'm going to play some Dorkly bits for a little while.
There you go. We'll go ahead and push that on. Yeah, so disaster averted, but I'm just kind of like, dude, I'm looking around and I'm like, and then all of a sudden everything dropped off, and I'm like, oh, so it's all good. You know, that's why we have firewalls, and then we have security, and then dude, because like my entire computer just went like all the IPS and just went haywire. I'm like, what is this? So like I'm trying to talk to you, and then I have like the command prompt going up, and I'm like, where are you? And I'm like, just give me 1 second. So, but we're good. We're good.
Good,
so,
good. But back into our conversation we were talking about. We were talking about grind mode, man. So
yes.
yeah. So the last thing I was talking about was just Star Ocean. How I grinded. That was my version of grinding. So
Yep.
in a sense, where do you think grinding is now compared to where it used to be? Say PlayStation days, the PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, um, those type of games, any one of those games.
I almost want to say that grinding has almost become a spot filler. I hate to say it because we go back to like Final Fantasy VII, for instance, and this is the foremost about it because you had your level system, but you also had a materia system. So it was kind of like you work and you had an objective to go to. Now, I think a lot of games are trying to just use it as sort of like to increase the hours of gameplay. Like we're starting to get into like overly redundant crafting systems
Hmm.
that really serve no purpose. Because I mean, if you look into a lot of RPGs nowadays, or let's just action RPGs, where it's kind of like Skyrim, Dragon Age, knock on wood, let's hope not, but like Witcher 3,
Hmm.
they seem to have a forced crafting system, where it's kind of like it forces you to go, to said map, collect this, collect that. And to me, like I said, it's just filler now. Instead of like, to me, it's lost this sense of accomplishment.
Hmm.
When you finally get to like level 99 or you get a max, piece of armor, it's still a max piece of armor. Not like I'm grinding, working to it, but by the time I'm able to complete it, I've already outgrown it.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
it's like, it's frustrating because I don't mind putting 50, 60 hours into it as long as I have something to look forward to, not like, well, okay, that's going to sell real good now.
Right, right. No, yeah, and that's one of my big problems with the gamings now, is that
Mm-hmm.
you grind so hard, and it's like you outgrow your weapon. It's like, what the hell is the point of grinding so hard for this weapon?
Mm-hmm.
Destiny, it's a different type of grind, but I got to a point where I'm like, oh, I want to get this weapon, and it's like that's another thing that pisses me off is timed shit. Like I don't like things that are
Oh,
timed, and that's
yeah.
really been frustrating in
Mm-hmm.
that sense where I'm like, okay, why, oops, why am I only have a limited time to get this weapon, and I don't
Mm-hmm.
have that type of day time in my week because of
Yeah.
between work and the kids and all that other stuff. I'm like, I
Mm-hmm.
gotta make a choice. Like, am I gonna feed my kids every day, or am I gonna skip a couple days and grind this out? So
Yeah.
it makes it really tough to put that work into grinding because it's like shit. Like, I have to get all this power up and get all this stuff before this Friday in order to get this thing.
Yeah.
A great example was the Final Fantasy Record Keeper with the whole Sephiroth stage. And it's like
Yeah.
I had two more floors to go, and then I was going to go against him. But it was impossible because of the fact of I can only play the game so many times, which is free to play, which is whatever. I can spend the money to get the turns, but I had
Yeah.
to level my guys up, and it feels like that game is such a slow level up to get up there. At first, it flies
Yeah.
through, but it's like after that, like to level up a cure, like my guys were dying on one hit, and that's what was frustrating. And it wasn't just regular guys; it was my white mages with the cure,
Yeah.
and I'm like, great, what am I gonna do now? I don't have
Hmm.
enough freaking gems to continue on battling and use a phoenix down, and then I don't have enough gems to continue just fighting. So I'm like,
Yeah.
it's screwed. So I had the 2 floors left, and time ran out, and that right there caused me to not want to play the game anymore. And
Yeah.
there's a difference between hard and being stupid, and I think that
Yeah.
definitely crossed that line because
Hmm.
I mean I don't mind grinding and trying to get somewhere, but as long as that somewhere is still reachable within my bases. If
Yeah.
I have to play so hard that I have to sacrifice things in my real life to get to it like that. It's not
Yeah.
something that I'm interested in, and it's part of being an adult. You know what I mean? It sucks.
Hmm. Yeah.
I know they're trying to get all market, but that's not working for me. You know?
Yeah. Well, and in Square Enix, this is probably the only mobile game as of right now that I've played that I could tolerate from them without them completely butchering it. I definitely see what you're saying with Records Keeper because it's one of those like, and to me, I guess I play both sides because I like the time games because it's kind of like, all right, I play, I step away. I don't do in-app purchases. I don't do anything to where I'm all of a sudden sitting for 8 hours on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's one of those things I take downtime at work. If I'm waiting somewhere, we're in traffic, things like that. I'll pop it on. But I have to think about it like with Record Keeper or really any game actually. It first comes out, there's always just this like horrendous learning curve and it's frustrating. So it's exactly like you said. It's kind of like, why am I playing when A, not enough to do,
Mm-hmm.
or B, it's like the game is so unbalanced,
Right.
and that goes right into my other thought where it's kind of like, why am I grinding 8 hours to get something that's moderately better? Or, it seems like there's not enough of this to supplement this. Like we see this a lot when games go through their midlife cycle. Balances are made, changes are made, especially crafting is one of the first things that get hit. Things get reduced here, more accessible here. What pisses me off more than anything is when they intentionally make a tier, let's just a tier of a crafting system hard, just to have the next tier, and then they'll reduce everything when they start unlocking things, and it's kind of like that bothers me because it's like, let me at least enjoy what I'm doing right now. And then, when you unlock it, okay, just make it a little harder, but not so where it's kind of like where it turns you off, to an otherwise, pretty decent, mobile game for the most part.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I didn't hate it. It's just it's very frustrating. Just the running out of time thing
Mhm.
really did kill me. And
Yeah.
it was frustrating more than anything.
Well, and okay, so I know like what saves me a lot, and this is grinding in general, is an autoplay feature. Like Records Keeper, a lot of my redundant dungeons I'm running over and over again, it's auto. Bravely Default was really one of the first games that allowed you, if you were farming and leveling, you had auto. You just be able to put the game on auto where it replayed your last uh, actions you did. So you can go protect, cure, fight, and the game would always protect, cure, fight, protect, cure every single battle. To me, that made it a little more bearable, especially when I was trying to 100% the game
Hmm.
and getting everyone 9, like all 14 to 16 jobs 9. You know what I'm saying? I mean, would you be, I guess, less adverse to if there was a lot of grinding, if there was more automating, not a bot, not cheating, but like if the developer said, okay, look, you're gonna have to grind, but here, an auto feature to where you can actually now just sit there, walk around a little bit, and just have the game do it to where it's not ruining the story, it's not taking away from anything, but it's not having you like for like 8 hours, just doing the same thing over and over again.
um, I don't mind physically doing the grinding. I don't.
Mm.
I really don't. It's because it's very rewarding once I get what I'm looking for. Like if I would have got Sephiroth, I would have been very happy.
Yeah.
The whole thing, I don't know, just the whole thing where you only have a week to do this. That's where it was frustrating to me, and
Yeah.
that's what really bothers me. Um, yeah, I understand, and it definitely gave me that drive to be like, hey, I got to sacrifice my time to do this. But it got to a point where, like, I'm talking to people and I'm doing it, and I'm just, like, not paying attention to people that are talking to me because I'm really trying to just do this. I'm like, listen, you don't
Yeah.
understand. I only have a few hours to get this thing left. So
Yeah.
it's hard to explain to people who Sephiroth is.
You don't need that
And
kind of negativity in your life.
yeah, yeah. So on that note, it wasn't too good.
Yeah.
Wasn't
No,
too
fair,
good.
fair enough.
But no, no. I mean, it was a fun game. It lasted, and I did enjoy it. It's just that I really, out of anything, really wanted Sephiroth, and not being able to get him really kind of dampened the thing. And I might pick
Yeah.
it back up. I didn't uninstall it, so it's still on there. But
Yeah.
again, I don't hate grinding. I do like
Right.
grinding. Again, it's the leveling up and stuff like that. I just think it's
Yeah.
gotten so much that it's kind of it's all over the place. Like you said, like all right, a perfect example right now is with Far Cry. Um, I got the you can go hunting and get like expand your backpack by getting certain beasts and stuff like that, and so that aspect of the game is cool because now it's like okay great, I don't have to sit here and just do the story. I can go out and go hunting. So now I'm going out and going hunting,
Yeah.
now I'm looking for particular animals and stuff like that. But it's helping me in the game because now it's giving me a bag to carry more items.
Okay.
It's giving me a holster to hold more weapons. It's
All
giving
right.
me I can make a wallet to hold more money. Like that type of grinding stuff is
Yeah.
really good. Now, Final Fantasy 14 is frustrating because you grind, and you do all this other stuff to get clothing and to get all this other like cool wear, but I don't know what the hell it does. Like I sat there and grind it so hard on cloth, but I have no idea what it was. I can't hear you, Chris, for some weird reason. I don't know if you can still hear me. I cannot hear you. It went completely quiet. But I could see you though. I could see you. You disappeared. Now you came back, but I still can't hear you. Oh, you disappeared. I think you pissed off somebody, and he keep coming back, and he just keeps hacking you. Still nothing, nothing. For all you guys that are just joining our channel and seeing what's going on, is Chris was getting raided and getting raped digitally, and it looks like the person is still digitally digitally raping him. So we can see him, but then the guy's like, I'm gonna watch you on Twitch, and I'm gonna make it so that way I can't hear you. I'm just gonna keep watching you and watch you just suffer. This is awesome. Well, I'm gonna keep talking about my grinding thing while Chris is looking for a mic. And Chris, when you get a mic, just come back. So, uh, so I mean now, in an aspect with grinding, a lot of people think of grinding. They think of like just RPG games. Again, we use the example Final Fantasy, but I think games like Far Cry and Fallout. Fallout is a great first person MMORPG like kind of like game, and it's so in depth, and I can't wait. I hope this E3 coming up in June they're going to release the information on the next one because we really need one for this next gen, and the games are starting to pick up for this next gen, which is really good. Mortal Kombat came out. I liked Mortal Kombat. I thought it was a good game. Great fighting game for the next gen. It definitely opens the door for games like Tekken to come out for these next gens. I would love to see a Soul Calibur, which I don't know if we're gonna see, but Soul Calibur would be awesome. Dead or Alive is always a classic fighting game, so I'd like to see a couple of those games be remade as well. But we have The Witcher 3 that's coming out next month. Talking about grinding, that game is probably going to have a shitload of grinding, which I'm sure. Thief already came out, if I am correct, which I think it really didn't do too good. But you got games also like Grand Theft Auto. That's a different type of grind. The grind is more for achievements. Now that opens up a whole new gateway that people are really going for. Like my brother constantly tries to platinum all his games. Tries to platinum all his games. I personally can't do that. Once I beat a game, I have a hard time going back. Final Fantasy was the only game that I really dedicated myself going back. Grand Theft Auto was another one. Saints Row was another one. So I mean, games like that, I had no problem going back. But the big story games, it's tough getting back into that, and especially some of the achievements are just ridiculous. But I do get the sense of achievement when you unlock these achievements and these trophies and things like that. It makes you feel awesome because then you get to see how many people have actually got that trophy now, and you see how rare it is, and when you see the rarity is so high, you're just like, well, I did it. So now when you talk to someone about a game, well, I platinumed that game, I did everything in his mama for that game. Unfortunately, with having 4 children and being married and having 2 jobs, that just doesn't work out too well. But considering one of those jobs are a video game lounge now, it should open up the door a little bit more. But it's really for platinum in a game. It's more than just about time. It's really about your determination to want to do things that are really hard. I mean, some of these platinums that you got to get, some of these trophies you got to get are beat the game on the hardest level without using any medical kit. It's like, what? Or use a save only 3 times. Like some of that is just the frustration level is just too great, and for those that can dedicate themselves to a game like that, my hat's off to you, because for me, it definitely takes the fun out. Now, there are games that I really do try to platinum because I feel that the level isn't somewhere that my frustration level will cause me to break a controller. So that's the number one key concern that I always have is, are my controllers going to be able to survive at the end of this game? And if my rating is somewhere in the mid levels to high chances, then I'm probably going to stay away from doing that and getting to that point of actually breaking a controller. So, but it's fun. It is fun to know again that, hey, listen, I did this, and people be like, oh shit, I've only seen like 10 people that are actually able to do that, which numbers are a lot higher than that, but. Some of the some of the platinuming is just insane. But what definitely makes it easier to be able to platinum a lot of this stuff is looking at tips that other people do. Most of the time, people that are platinum, they put tons of little tips on YouTube, and that's something that growing up with Chris and I with video games, is the internet is nowhere near the level that it is now. With Final Fantasy VII, it was printing out pages and pages and pages of things that you had to do. Other words, you wouldn't know how to get the gold chocobo. You would have never known. You had to actually look it up. So, with that being said, nowadays, just YouTube it. Kids can just YouTube whatever to figure out, hey, what are you doing this? So, with Super Nintendo or regular Nintendo games, if you didn't do it and your friend didn't do it, it didn't exist. You didn't know about it. It didn't exist. So, I mean, there are still things out there that people are still just figuring out now with some of these older games. Like, I did not know you could do that, but it's because the internet wasn't around then. Now it's hard for these developers to put those secrets in games, but you gotta. It's there's so much to do in games now. You don't need that hidden like gem anymore. I mean, it's cool finding and stumbling across some of these things, and people love the fact to be able to still do that and try that. But I want the developers right now to worry about trying to complete games on release instead of trying to hide things. Game completion, I think, is more important than anything right now. So, how you doing over there, Chris? Still working on things? Oh man, this is too funny. So, yeah, it's about 5 minutes left of the show. So, we won't make Chris suffer anymore and try to figure out how to get his audio to work. A couple things I just wanted to drop. I have not got to see the Assassin's Creed 2.5, the China Chronicles trailer. So I got to check that out. But if you guys haven't seen that, make sure to check that out. April 21st is the release date, which is tomorrow. So I don't know how they dropped that trailer for a game coming tomorrow, but it is what it is. What's going on with us is we were going to give out some controllers this show, but we're going to hold off because of all the bugs we've had, and I'd like Chris to be a part of it. So next week, next Monday, make sure you watch because we will be giving away a Yoshi wired fight pad for the Wii and Wii U. Brought to you by Performance Designed Products, PDP. Check them out.com. The controls are awesome. They also designed the Mortal Kombat controls. So for the next Mortal Kombat tournament, I'm going to try to get those controls. But next week, all you have to do is join the chat. Follow us on Ustream, which if you're in the room now, just do it now to get it out the way. And then to be in the chat, all you have to do is give me my damn controller now. Type that in, and when you type that in, we'll put you guys into the raffle. And by the end of the show, we will give out the controller to somebody. If you live local, you just got to come down to the shop. If you live far away, then we'll mail it to you. So make sure you follow us on Twitch, and then put "Give me my damn controller now," which I'll remind you guys next week what you got to do. So, other than that, we have a tournament this Friday. We're gonna do Street Fighter, which I'm going to post. I never got the flyer made up for it, so I will do just something quick, just announcing it. It's gonna be for Super Nintendo, so it's Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Super Nintendo, and then on Saturday it's Madden 2-on-2. So those are the two tournaments we got going on this week. Next week we were supposed to do a Call of Duty one, but might have to get pushed back again. We might wait for the weekend after next weekend to do that one. So I think that pretty much wraps up our show. So I'm Van, and that's Chris. And we'll catch you guys next week. Peace.